Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about how can we send parameters through our endpoints or URL that we created for our application, Django application, and how we can extract those parameters in our view.py, the function-based view. So first thing first, let's start a terminal and run our server. First we need to activate our virtual environment. Okay, and then navigate to our API folder, and then run the server. Okay, so after we run the server, let's go to the browser and just make a request to our URL or endpoints, and as expected we get a response back, says that we received your request, which we programmed here. Okay, what if I want to send some parameters within this URL? So let's try to type something after the first, anything. Just hit enter. You see, our API will ignore all those characters because for our API that doesn't mean anything. Okay, so how we make this meaningful? It's very simple. We just need to add a question mark here, and that would tell our API that whatever characters after this question mark is part of a dictionary. The dictionary includes a key value parameters, which means you have a key and you have a value for that key. It could have like one key value, 2, 3 or more. Okay, so how are we gonna extract whatever comes after all the parameters that we just included here? Okay, it's pretty simple. If we go back to our view, you see that we used request here as an argument in our function-based view. So we can use this request to extract the parameters. How? Let's just simply first print those parameters. Okay, let's go print request dot query underscore params. Okay, so let's try this for now. We save, we wait for the server to rerun, and then we go to the browser. If we do refresh here to create another request and we check our print field here or terminal, we can see that we have a query dictionary, includes a key, but there is no value. Okay, but at least we managed to get all these characters in our API or backend. So how are we going to put a value here for these characters? Oh, let's use some meaningful characters here. Let's say key, or let's say ID, for example. Sorry. After that we put equal, and we write, for example, 1 2 3 4 3 4, and we hit enter. Now if we go back and look here, we see that we managed to get or to extract a dictionary with an ID key and a value. Okay, how to get this value from this dictionary? Well, it's simple. If you just go here let's do another print statement. And what we need to print is request dot query params, and we tell the which value. Okay, we need to print the value for which key. Okay, we just write here or type key. Okay, and then let's save it and try if we see if we can get that key from the dictionary. So if we run this back again, it's giving an error saying that key is not. Oh yeah, because it's not key. Okay, that's why I wanted to write key, but then I changed it to ID. So that's wrong. There is no key in the parameters. There's ID. Okay, so if we save this and we come back here and we do refresh, okay, this was successful. If we go back here and check, do you see this number? This is the value for the ID key. So we managed to extract first the parameters as a dictionary and then the values from the exact dictionary. Okay, what if we need to send more than one key value in the dictionary? It's simple. We would need to create a separator. Okay, so if we need to create a separator between, if we need to add more than one variable or more than one key value, we need to just separate them. Okay, and then write another key, which is, for example, key equal another value, which could be, for example, km1234. Okay, let's hit enter. And if we go back here, if you look here, you see that our dictionary now has an ID with the value and also has a key with the value. Okay, and what if we want to print the value for the key? Okay, we change this to key, and that's it. If we go now and do another request, and come back to our server and check, we have the value for the first key, the value for another key. That's very handy when it comes to, for example, if you want to send some information with your request to your API, like if you want to send some ID and in your API or server, you want to use that ID to filter some data from your database. And we will see that when we use the class-based functions or view sets. So we can send some values within our endpoint or URL, and then we can use it there in our server to filter some data from our database, fetch some data, and send it back. Okay. Obviously, what if I need to send back those IDs? For example, or let's say I want to send a number here, okay, and do some operation in it. Let's say 12 and send it back. Okay. Okay, we need to take out this from here because we removed it. Okay. Let's wait for the server to run back. Okay, that's it. Also, sending parameters through or within our API endpoint or URL is useful. For example, if we want to send some variables or some values and do some operation in it on our API or backend or server, and then send the result back, that will be handy. Let's do a simple operation. For example, let's give our ID. Let's send a value of, for example, let's send number 12, to the API and ask our API to do some operation on it and send the result back. Okay, so let's send something called, for example, num, the number. Let's go to our API and update the key here to num, save, and now let's test. Okay, if I send this request, I can see now the number 12 is printed here. So let's ask our server or API to multiply this number by 2 and then send it back. How we can do that? Simply let's assign this value here to a variable. Copy this. Let's say number equal this value, and then let's say new number equal number multiplied by 2. How we send it back to the browser, or how we add it to the response? As you see, the response is just a dictionary key value. So let's add another key value here. So the key will be result, for example. Okay, and the result is the new number. Okay, let's try this. Let's save it, wait for the server to run, and then just refresh here to send another request. So why we supposed to multiply it by 2, but we got the result, which is okay, but the result is not correct. So what happened? So what happened is that this value that we got from here is not an integer, it's a string. So when we asked our API to multiply it by 2, it just added another string or another 12 and put it next to that 12, and that's why we got this 12 here. So what if we want to make it do the real work for us and multiply the numbers? It's easy. We just put int and we include that inside the int function. So now this will be converted to an integer and we will be able to get the right value. Okay, let's save and then go back to our browser and refresh, and here we go, we got the 24. Okay, so there's many ways that we can use this trick or this way of sending variables through our endpoint or alt or server API, do some operation in it, send it back, and so on. So that's it for this tutorial, guys. Thank you so much for your time. Until the next one.